Here now is Jimmy Fidler.
I'm going up that river. I'm going up that river. I'm going up that river just to see what they got on the way.
It is Newfoundland's classic rock 97.5 K-Rock. Welcome to Under the Influence, my first show of the new year, January 1st. Wow, how time flies. And my special guest here this evening is Jim Fidler. Welcome to the studio.
Hello, hello.
Nice to have you here, you know.
It's wonderful to be here, wonderful to be alive in 2012, and let's hope it's not our last year.
I hope it's not. I really do. Well, Jim, I guess 2011 was a busy year for you. You released the brand new album, Up That River.
And 3 EPs aside from that.
Ooh, really busy year for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to listening to the new album, and that's what we're going to be doing here this evening. We're going to be listening to Up That River, plus we're going to be listening to, of course, some of your favorite classic rock
My
songs.
faves, yeah.
And influences.
Yeah, yeah.
So before we get into detail on the new album and everything like that, let's kick off the show with one of your bigger influences, one of your favorites, and I think you were telling me it might happen to be Steeler's Wheel.
More specifically, Jerry Rafferty. We lost Jerry Rafferty not that long ago. Jerry Rafferty was an absolute marvel of musical talent, songwriting, musicianship, and everything. And this is his old group song that he had quite a hit with in I guess the early 70s.
I think it's a great way to start the first show of Under the Influence for 2012.
Let's get it on.
Here it is, Steeler's Wheel with Stuck in the Middle with You on Under the Influence.
I'm going up that river. I'm going up that river. I'm going up that river just to see what they got on the way. Yeah. I'm going up that river. I'm going up that river. I'm going up that river just to see what they got on the way.
It is Newfoundland's classic rock 97.5 K-Rock. Welcome back to Under the Influence. I'm Candice Udle. My guest here this evening, the very well-known Jim Fidler. New album, Up That River, and we just heard the first song from that album. Plus, it's the title track of the album. So tell me a little bit about Up That River.
Well, Up That River is it's a basic idea, really. We live in a downstream society. Everything that comes to us through the news, through church, through culture, through politics, all these things come downstream to us. And the only way you can ever really figure out, if you want to know really what's going on, you're not going to find out in a little blurb on the 6 o'clock news. You're going to have to go right against the flow, and quite often maybe against some of your friends and things like that. Swim against the flow and go up that river just to see what they got on the way.
And I gotta say, speaking of the title track of the song and looking at the actual album, I love the art that's on this album. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
It reminds me actually of that Log Roller song way back. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I love it, and I think
Is that right? It reminds you of that?
in a weird, odd way, but much cuter
See, you should be thinking more. You should be thinking more Huck Finn than log driver
yes,
song,
in
you know?
Disneyland. Actually, it kind of reminds me of Disney.
It's a bit sort of animated because it came out of my head.
It's really cool. I think you did a good job with it, and a lot of people probably wondering where did they get a copy of Up That River?
Well, this bit of Hucknology can be obtained at jimfidler.com with one D. That's the best place, folks. Always, whenever you have the opportunity, get from the artist themselves and no middlemen. But I'll give a plug to Fred's Records and O'Brien's music, and I mean, it's pretty much available anywhere.
Awesome.
Really. iTunes, blah blah, all that stuff.
And all the details can be found once again on your website, www.jimfidler.com. And we're going to hear another song from the album Up That River coming up next. I'd like for you to tell me a little bit about the song before we listen to it, Jim. This one titled Me.
I will just tell you, good listening people, listen to this song and make of it what you will.
Oh, now I'm really interested. Let's give it a listen. It's Jim Fidler on Under the Influence.
If you wanna know me, take a look at yourself. Said if you wanna know me, just take a look at yourself. 'Cause when it comes down to it, there ain't nobody else.
It is Newfoundland's classic rock, 97.5 K-Rock. Welcome back to Under the Influence, our first edition of the new year. And my guest here this evening, Jim Fidler, and I'm Candice Udle. We're listening to songs from his brand new album, just released, I guess, December, right?
Yep.
And you had the big CD release party down at the Ship Pub.
We did indeed. It was a wonderful night, yep.
Well, that's awesome. And I know a lot of people are going to be looking for a copy of this album. You can find out all the details on Jim's website, www.jimfidler.com. In the meantime, we did just hear a song from the album, Cats Will Be Cats. Jim, tell me a little bit about that one.
Well, cats will be cats, It's just the way it is. That's another one of those sort of really people have to sort of figure it out for themselves, I think. But the one thing I'd like to say about it is that Lillian, my wife Lillian, made her worldwide vocal debut on that track. She was a one-take wonder. She did once off, boom. And we didn't need to use any auto-tune. In case anybody knows what that is, we didn't have to use it. So.
And how long did it take for you to convince her to do this?
I said, dear, can you come here for a second? What, she says. I handed her a mic. I said, can you say cats? Like that into the mic? And she said, all right, I suppose. And she did it, and that was it.
Oh, not bad at all. Well, Jim, I know you've been completely busy. The new album is out, and I want to know what can people expect when they get this album compared to your previous albums?
Pretty much the same thing in the sense that it's not going to be like the previous albums, and none of the ones before that were like their predecessors. But I'd say this one here really is a kind of a broader thing. Really, it's not a Celtic record. It's not a reggae album. It's a kind of, to me, it's almost like my time for music, really, cutting my teeth, listening to music, hearing production, hearing grooves as a musician, hearing rhythm sections, listening to Bob Marley and the Wailers and all kinds of different things, was the 70s. And the thing about the 70s was a good album was a good album. It wasn't just a bunch of songs thrown together onto a disc. And that didn't mean that the songs were homogenous in any way. So track 1 could be a rocker, track 2 could be a ballad, track 3 could have bagpipes in it, track 4 could be kind of bluegrassy, country kind of thing, and onward and onward. So this record is really more like that. It's more like it's more like my favorite records when I was growing up in the 70s, really.
That's cool. And everyone can get a copy. Once again, www.jimfidler.com. And you did...
One D. Yeah.
One D. But you did make reference a couple minutes ago to Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And the next song that we're going to be hearing, it's not Bob Marley, but it's Jim Fidler doing a Bob Marley song. And I'm extremely excited to hear this. So what made you, I guess, choose to do this song?
Rasta.
No Woman, No Cry. Such a beautiful song. And once again, I guess Bob Marley, you're a big fan.
Not a fan, but no. Fan is an abbreviation for fanatic. Bob is more of an inspiration to me than an influence, but definitely a big influence as well. And not just Bob, but the whole thing, the whole group, the Wailers and the I3s, and I think you'll hear on this track. It's I'm not trying to imitate the Wailers. I'm doing something, I guess you'd say maybe a little more contemporary or whatever. But that's not what I was trying to do. Mindfully, I wasn't trying to update it. Just more or less just setting a groove and following it from there. And instead of trying to replace Junior Mervin's really wonderful, great guitar solo in that with another guitar solo by me or anybody else, I had this idea of sax and clarinet, the sax like being the male and the clarinet being the female, and letting them kind of call and answer and interact and dance together kind of thing. And the girls, the secrets are in there, and I think they're again not replacing the I3s, but they're my eyes.
All right, well, let's give it a listen. No Woman, No Cry is Jim Fidler on Under the Influence. is Newfoundland's classic rock, 97.5 K-Rock. Welcome back to Under the Influence. I'm Candice Udle. My guest here this evening, Jim Fidler. New album available now, www.jimfidler with, what do you say? What, the 1D?
1D, that's right.
1D.com.
Fiddler, not fiddler. That's right.
And you can find out all details on the new album and more info on Jim on his website. Just heard another one of Jim's faves. This one, Year of the Cat, some Al Stewart. So why'd you pick Al Stewart this evening?
Well, Al Stewart really, again, in the 70s growing up and being a budding producer, once I grew up, I would be producing records for myself and other people and all this and that. There was something about colors and layers and music and arrangement and instrumentation and all this stuff. I love the catchy tune. I love the catchy tune, but I also love to hear my stereo sound good in my car or in my house. I love my headphones to be throbbing on the sides of my head, and and that kind of music does that. Like that song, plus the lyrics are totally enchanting.
Oh, definitely.
and it mentions cats.
You like cats?
Cats will be cats.
Do you have a cat?
We have a cat. His name is Gypsy.
Oh, there you go.
We named him...
your first album. Was it your first one?
Well, no, I named my first album Gypsy after a telepathic fit of knowing that we would have a cat, Gypsy, in the future.
Well, that's not a bad thing to do. Look, you did. Well, Jim, I know throughout the years you've been mega busy. You're after working with so many people. And I do have to ask you a question that everybody would probably kick me if I didn't ask, but what is the relationship with Christina Aguilera?
She's my first cousin. Her mom, Shelley, and my dad, James Marley Fidler, are brother and sister.
Wow. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, she does too.
And so do you actually get to speak to her? Like, when was the last time you spoke to her?
She gets to talk to me too sometimes.
So when was the last time that she got to speak to you?
It's been a while now, but it's family, and so people understand the dynamics of families, and sometimes we speak to people 10 times in a month, and then we don't speak to them for 10 years, and that's the way families go. And she's a very busy girl. She's living in Judy Garland's old house.
Nice.
And she's really busy these days doing the TV thing and being a mom.
She does the voice, hey?
And being a mom, yeah.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
See, tell her I said hi.
She's a good girl. She's a good girl, Christina. Yo.
That's pretty cool. I had to ask because a lot of people are like, if you're talking to Jim, ask him the relationship with Christina.
And I just want to tell all your listeners that I am very proud of that little girl that I've known since she was a little girl, and I gave all the encouragement I could along the way, and whatever guidance was there in terms of knowing about some pitfalls in the biz to stay away from and stuff. My dad helped her out quite a bit, and she's got a good head on her shoulders, and I'm really proud of her.
She definitely does, and I'm sure she's proud of you too.
And she can actually sing, and she can actually dance, and
She
she's actually
can.
smart. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Jim, enough about Christina. Let's get back to you. We got another influence coming up.
Yep.
This one, The Boss. So
Boss.
tell me a little bit about why you chose The Boss here this evening.
That song is a song that when I was kind of in exile, going to school in Halifax, Nova Scotia, living in a residential school, that song just struck a chord with me. Hungry Heart to me is something about longing. It's something about yearning, something about loneliness, something about kind of looking up at the stars and then looking back down at yourself and feeling a little small maybe, and realizing that life, the road of life is rocky, and lots of signs, lots of turns, and that song just always stuck with me as one of my favorite all-time songs.
It definitely is, and here it is, Bruce Springsteen with Hungry Heart on Under the Influence. It is Newfoundland's classic rock 97.5 K-Rock. Welcome back to Under the Influence. I'm Candice Udle. My guest here this evening, my first guest for 2012, Jim Fidler. And I gotta say, the show has been fabulous. Great influences. And of course, we've been listening to his brand new album, Up That River.
Get it, get it, get it.
I love the sounds that come out of this guy. Well, Jim, we just heard Leslie Street from the album. Tell me a little bit about that song.
That song, the first verse just starts leaving the house and then going down over Leslie Street toward the water side, which is the water side of Leslie Street, of course, is the water side, is in Water Street. Mm-hmm. And then the rest is just kind of like some kind of fractal sort of opening up into the rest of the world. And that's pretty much it. It was spontaneous. That song was written literally, hit record, and I sang the whole song right out of me from beginning to end. Didn't have to go back and change any words or anything. Never thought about any lyrics for it. Nothing. Just bang. So
that's impressive.
Like Bob Marley used to say, Jah write all them songs anyway.
I love the Bob Marley references.
That kind of thing.
Well, Jim, I got to say, it's been a pleasure having you here this evening. I know you're really busy, and I know it is Christmas time, so this is like a double busy time of year. But I'm glad you made some time to stop on by, and Hanukkah, yes. And I just want to thank you for stopping into the studio this evening.
Oh, absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And once again, all the details on this album on your website, www.jimfidler.com with one D. Mm-hmm. See, I know I had to do it now.
Fidler. That's right. Yeah.
And you can get all the, and where else can we pick up a copy of the album?
Well, jimfidler.com is probably the best place. Fred's Records, O'Brien's Music, here and there. Wherever you get stuff, iTunes, whatever you want to throw it on the iPhone or whatever, all that stuff.
Perfect. And is there going to be any shows in the new year that we can talk about?
Nothing right now, but again, jimfidler.com is the best place. We do a show called Republic of Avalon Radio, and that's Newfoundland's first longest-running podcast thing.
Wow.
That's a bit of this and that. And that's a good way of, it's not an artist promotion show. It's just myself and Lillian going here, going there, talking to this one and that one, bit of music, all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's like the other side of things. It's not just behind the production. It's even more than that. It's more behind than that.
Well, I'll definitely have to give that a listen. In the meantime, we do have one more from Jim Fidler, and it's coming up next. Before we take off, tell me a little bit about Down That River.
Well, this is one of my real favorites, this one. See, Up That River, and then that's the first track, and then Down That River is the last track. So after all, all the work that you need to do to be awake and conscious in this very quickly spinning world, it also pays to regroup and take some time out and relax and breathe in and breathe out and do whatever you do, and whatever you do, do it well. And that's pretty much it. So Down That River is just kind of about chilling out after a good hard day's work.
All right. Well, you know what? I think that we need to listen to this song right now. Thank you so much once again, Jim, for coming in. It's Down That River, Jim Fidler on Under the Influence.
Down turns the day to night. Moonshine whiskey and moonshine bright.